crafters. In this video, you're going to see how to make a DIY pop-out gatefold card for Valentine's using the Darling Dinos photopolymer stamp set and dies and the Hugs for Love photopolymer stamp set. You can find those stamp sets in the new mini catalog. For the background paper, we're going to use the TOADSTOOL Gardens Designer Series paper. Now let me tell you about how celebration works. With every $60 or $120 you spend on Stampin' Up! Products, that's before tax and shipping, you can choose a free celebration product from this brochure. And that's for each $60 or $120 you spend. If you decide to join Stampin' Up! During celebration, you can build a starter kit full of products you choose, and then you get to select one of the 2 free bonus options. Option 1 is your choice of 2 marker sets from our Stampin' Right markers in the Handmade Design Cling Stamp set. Option 2 is your choice of an additional $30 in free products to make your starter kit. I got this pop-out gatefold card idea from Lisa Curcio from Lisa's Stamp Studio. Thanks, Lisa. Hi, I'm Joan and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I created this video for Joan Simple Papercrafts found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically once a week. Now give me a few seconds to turn the camera down and we'll get started. Well, here's that card we're going to be making tonight. It says roar means I love you in dinosaur. And when you open it, it sits like this. You can turn the back around and it says Happy Valentine's Day. So this was made out of the Darling dinosaurs. We use this dinosaur, this sentiment here, and the I love you, along with the bow, and what else? The top hat. Where's the top hat? Right here. Then we used Happy Valentine's Day on the back, and then we used these dies. This one here, and this one here. And then for the sentiment, we use this one here. So this is a perennial postage dies. The paper we're going to use is the Granny Apple Green, and we can make 2 cards out of this sheet of paper if I do it right. Let's get this out of the way. And we'll just move that over here. We're going to bring in our trimmer, and we're first going to cut it down to 8 inches along the long ways. So this way, right here. So we have 8 inches. And then we're going to turn it. And before we do that, I want to show you that this is the arm on here. And it can go out as far as 17¼ inches or up to almost 44 centimeters. And then we have 2 blades on here. This one is the scoring blade and this one's the trimming blade. And we're going to use the trimming blade. But I also added a 3rd blade, which is a trimming blade, but I write glitter on there. So I use that with glitter paper or foil paper because it dulls it so much. And by doing that, I can keep this blade in there longer without having to change them. And then it also has the imperial measurements here and the metrics up there. The next cut is at 5½ inches. 5½ inches is 14 centimeters. And the 8 inches is 20 centimeters. So this is 20 centimeters and this is 14 centimeters. And we only need one of these. This will make another card. And we're going to line this up. We're going to do all our cutting and scoring on this before we work on anything else. We're going to score it at 2 inches first. And 2 inches would be 5.1 centimeters. Then we're going to score it at 6 inches. I'm going to pull this out, make sure we get it on there right. And then we're going to score it at 6 inches. and that's going to be 15.3 centimeters. Then we want to trim it, and I'm going to stand up for this part because we want to get that in there right. So we're going to start it at 2 inches, and we're going to place it on the 1 inch line, which is 2.5 centimeters. I'm going to move the scoring blade out of the way. Then we're going to put this at 2 inches right here. That should be right on that fold line. And then we're going to go down as far as 6 inches. There. And I'm going to just take a look. That looks good. Then we're going to take it out to 4.5 inches. And that basically is 1 inch on this side. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put it on that 2 inch line. And it says 2 inches right there. We're going to drop down. I want to make sure that it's on the score line. I'm having trouble seeing the score line. And we'll go down as far as 6 inches. And we'll lift it up, and it is right on the line there. That's good. Then we're going to take it and we're going to score it at the 4 inch mark. And that's going to be centered on the card. And we're only going to score it from this cut line out and this cut line out. So 1 inch and outward. Let's go down there, and then 1 inch and down. 1 inch and down. And let's see how we did there. That's good. Then we need to score it at 3 inches. So let's do 3 inches here. And that's going to be inside those lines. So let's get on that 1 inch line again and go down to this line down here. And I'm just going to double check. That's good. And then we're going to take it at the 5 inch line. And let me just tell you. Let's see, the 2 inch was at 5.1 centimeters. The 3 inch line is at 7.6 centimeters. The 4 inches is at 10.2 centimeters. And the 5 is at 12.7 centimeters. And the 6 was at 15.3 centimeters. Let me do this. And there, I think we've got everything scored and cut on here. So let me put my trimmer away. I've already cut all our other pieces out. I don't think we're going to need our trimmer again, but I've got it within reach in case we find out we need it. So we want to fold these inward. I'm going to bring this up here because I just don't always remember how those are supposed to be folded. Going backwards there. So we're going to take this at the 6 inch and we're going to fold it forward. And then we're going to use our bone folder. And we'll flip it over and fold it again. Or use the bone folder again. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. Bone folder. And fold it again. Keep saying fold it again. That's not right. Then we're going to take this here and we're going to fold it backwards. And I am going to take this and get it down here. And we'll pop this backwards here so we can get that to lay down. I'm just reaching in there to score that line. Then we've got these. We're going to pop those outward. And we can just score that right now. And score it again. Then we're going to take this side and we're going to pop that out. Score. And score. I think I've got all those scored now. Then what we need to do is we'll put our designer series paper on there. Let's get our designer series paper here. This is the rest of the paper we're going to need. This is the white that's going to go in the middle. On this one, I did a different design, so we're going to change this up a little bit. So that's just going to be the middle and the back of the card. But what we'll do for this one is we're going to put it on the inside of those banners there. And I'm going to do that. Let me get my glue gun out. This is our Sweet Petunia gun. And it's not a Stampin' Up! Product, but I'm using this with our glue from Stampin' Up! So that's this multi-purpose glue. And it allows me to manipulate a lot easier than that other glue because I have some arthritis. I can't squeeze this. And I was using this for quite some time, and I'm got so that it hurts to even squeeze that. So far, I've been able to use this, and it's been working for me. Now, I did have some trouble about 2 months ago where it started clogging up on me, and it found out, I had called the company and found out that I wasn't cleaning this out, and so when I put the cap back on, it pushed this in a little bit, and so it was not touching that rubber stopper there on the bottom, and that's what keeps it seals that off. So that's what we want to have that out here. So we're sealing it off every time we use it. Let me put that to the side because we're not going to use this piece here. We're going to use these two here. And we'll do this piece first. Oh, I want to get my silicone mat out. Here we go. And the paper I'm using for this is Toadstool Garden. It's in the celebration brochure. See if I can't find it for you. There's lots of cute things in here. Last week we've done this one, the Dance With Me. And right here's our Toadstool Garden. So I'm using this piece right here, and then this piece right there. I got this free with a $60 purchase. So we're going to put it on this middle panel right here. And I'm going to leave 1/8 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. Then the next we will use this piece here. And we'll put that on the left panel. And again, we're going to leave 1/8 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. So the top, bottom, and then the left and the right. And then we're going to grab one of these. And let's see, we'll put that right down there. And that's going to be 1/8 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. Find I get it better if I bring it here. And I'm lining this up right here. Let me show you that. I'm lining these up right here. And then I line these up there. We'll do the top one right there. And let me get that glue on that one as well. I'm going to line these up here as well as at the top there. Let's do the solder one. You need to do it on here though. The last thing you want to do is put glue on your project. So let's line that up this way so I can line up from here with the project there. Then we'll line these up. I wanted to wait until I got this on here. So wasn't sure which pieces I wanted where. So I think that's how we wanted it, like that. So let me pull this off from here. And now we want to make sure we're lining it up with the edges here. So I'm making sure that that's going straight there and a little bit crooked. There. And then we'll do this one next. And we're going to line this up right here and here. I'm leaving 1/8 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. And that's going to be like 0.1 centimeter. And then we got this one to do yet. And let's see, we'll put it on this side. And again, 1/8 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. And that's going to be 0.1 centimeters. And it's kind of hard to see that side, that 1/8 of an inch, because of the fold lines in here. And I'm just making sure we've got that lined up and that's lined up. All right. Then we've got the center one we need to do, but we want to stamp our sentiment on there first. And let's get our Memento ink out. And we're going to stamp our roar means in dinosaurs. So there is no word in there because if you look at the stamp, you could put roar means you're the best in dinosaur, or I love you in dinosaur, or happy birthday in dinosaur, or you're terrific. They all would fit in between the means and the in dinosaur. We're going to use the I love you. And I'm going to stamp it on the bottom. And let me get my mat. I'm going to stamp that again. And I want to have it in the center here toward the bottom. There. And then we'll do the I love you. And that's going to be in our melon mambo. And our I love you is right here. Sorry if my head's in the way. I want to make sure I've got it in there in the right spot. Yep, it's a little bit high, but you know what? We can flip this over. Let's try that again. Let's do this first. There's always two sides to these. So we want to make sure we've got that on the bottom as far as it'll go. Trying not to get my head in your way. And then we'll take our I love you and let's see if we can't center that a little bit better than we did the first time. Yep, same thing. So let's see which one looks better. I think this side looks better. Okay, and then the next thing we want to do is we want to do this sentiment here where it says Happy Valentine's Day. And I'm going to do it in the top third of the card. I'm going to stamp off so that we can clean them in our Stampin' Scrub. You want to stamp off first before you put it in the Stampin' Scrub to clean off the excess ink. Then you won't have to clean the Stampin' Scrub as often. So let's bring in our Stampin' Scrub. And we're going to spray this side with our Stampin' Mist because this has the raindrop in there, so that means this should be the wet side. This has the sunshine in there, so this should be the dry side. I'm going to get this out of the way. Here's our Stampin' Mist. I don't want it to get all over the card, so that's why I'm raising that up. This ink gets stained, but it's clean. Because if I take a clean spot on here, it's not coming off. So I know that's done properly. And here's the other one. Yeah, that one's done too. And now we can put these inside our card base. Oh, let me do this. We will do this on the back side first, since that's right there. And then we're going to put it in the center here, and we want to lay it down, leaving 1/8 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. Pretty good. And then we'll do the same thing here. And then we'll lay it in for 1/8 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. And that's going to be 0.1 centimeter. And I'm lining it up with this paper here, this green paper. There we go. And I'm just going to flatten those edges because they were a little bit turned upward, having cut it that way. And so if you just go around the edges, you can flatten that down. I should have did that before we stamped it even, but there we go. Then all we need to do is put our dinosaurs on. And I'm going to get out our paper to stamp those. And we need to do the big dinosaur here. So there's one dinosaur. Two dinosaur here. The hat. And bow tie. And you know what? I am going to have to get that pink back out because that's what we use for the kisses. So that's all we have to do for these. Let me get my stamp and scrub again. I'm going to just get these off from here. Okay. And we can close this up because we're just going to use the pink for that, the Melon Mambo. And I'm going to get in my stamp and scrub here, and then we're going to bring up our mini cut and emboss machine. I realized I needed to color these before we cut them with the die cutter. And then I also needed to give you the measurements of this paper we have. These two pieces here are cut at 1 7/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. That's going to be 4.8 centimeters by 13.7 centimeters. Then these four pieces here were cut at 7/8 of an inch by 1 7/8 inch wide, or that's going to be 2.2 centimeters by 4.8 centimeters. Then these pieces here were cut at 7/8 of an inch wide by 3 3/8 inches long, or that's going to be 2.2 centimeters by 8.6 centimeters. And then this piece here in the middle is 1 7/8 inches by 3 3/8 inches, or 4.8 centimeters by 8.6 centimeters. And that's the same size here. That's 1 7/8 inches wide by 3 3/8 inches tall, 4.8 centimeters by 8.6 centimeters. I think we got all those measurements. Now, I'm sorry I didn't do it while we were bringing the pieces out. This piece is cut at 2.5 inches by 7.5 inches, and that's going to be 6.3 centimeters by 19 centimeters. Let's start with our green. So that's the Granny Apple green, and we're going to use the light, and we're going to use the wide brush throughout the whole dinosaur. So I'm even going to go over these dots here. Then we're going to go back through with our wide marker in the dark Granny Apple green, and we'll actually use the nub rather than the wide, and we're going to go and color all these in. I'm outlining some of the lines here. Those are supposed to help with the shading. Okay, then I'm just going to go back with our light Granny Apple green, and we'll use the wide brush, and we're going to go over these shading marks here. Then next we're going to color his horns, and those are going to be in the light freesia and a dark Highland heather. So the light freesia will be at the tip here. I'm using the nub, and then at the base. And that's going to be in the center and then the base. Then we're just going to take the dark Highland heather, and we're just going to go center one, center, and the mid ones there. Got that one done. Then we're going to move on to the dinosaur. That's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm not sure. And we have our light pool party, and I'm going to use it with the broad stroke. And I'm going to do the whole dinosaur with that. I'm trying to flatten out the tip so that it doesn't get worn out. Because if you always use the tip, very tip, it's going to break down on you, and then you won't be able to use your marker, and there'll still be ink in there. You're not going to want to throw that away, and you won't have a tip to use, so try and use the flat edge of it. Now you're going to get in this area. You're going to use the tip. Then we're going to come back with our dark pool party, and we're going to get all these dark spots here. And I'm going to come back over them a second time even. And then we're going back again. I really want them to show up. Now those up there probably going to be buried under his hat, but that's okay. Then we're going to bring in our light smoky slate, and we're going to go over his scales. No, what is not scales? I don't know. Pointy toenails. I don't know the parts of a dinosaur. This is his tail here. Okay, that looks good. Then we're just going to color in his hat. Then we can close that off, and then we've got our dark basic black we'll use for the band on the hat. Then we're going to use the dark bubble bath for the bow. I think we got everything done there. Yeah, that looks good. So we'll bring in our mini cut and emboss machine now. And we're going to use this formula. Let me get this out of here. We're going to use the number 1 plate. That's this plate here. Then 2 number 2 plates. So this is one of the 2s. This is the other number 2. And we're going to stick that there. And then we're going to get our dies. And I'm going to stick my head in here to get that lined up. We're going to use our tape here. And stick my head again. Sorry about that. And we'll pull this out up here so we can get these upper ones done. Alright, then we're just going to put that on there, and we're going to crank that out. And I think I'm going to have to move that so we don't run into the glue gun. So let's put this down here. We're just going to do dry set right now. We want to make sure we've got room for everything on here. And we'll do one here. Yeah, we'll do that. And we'll do this up here. And I think we're going to cut off that top horn so that we can slant the hat off to one side and not have that horn show through. And we need our silicone mat again. So right from here and upward. So we won't do the tail at all. And then we'll just make sure that that is good enough. There's a little bit of glue there, so I'm just wiping that off. Okay, then we'll do this one next. And we want him to be right about here. And we're going to go ahead and put in his kisses before we glue him down. There. Now we can close this up. And we'll come back and clean this off in a few minutes. So let's get glue on him. And we want it to be everything but his tail and his horns up here. And let's make sure that that's not going to be glued down. And we did have a little bit of glue right there, so I'm just wiping that off. And I am going to use our adhesive eraser to finish getting that off from there. Okay, and let's get our glue onto here. We want to put it on like right about like that. There, that should be good. It's not going to be knocked off by opening this and closing this. And then this needs to go right on here. Let me get this. How cute. Let's bring them out. Now you can either close it with all those tabs to this way, or close it one tab this way and one tab this way, or all tabs this way. I liked having it this way. So I'm going to just use my bone folder here to finish setting that. Then we'll bring this one out, and let's set this one up this way so that you can see that there's dimensions on there. Don't you just love these dinosaurs? I love how I was able to tie in the Happy Valentine's Day. Why don't you give it a try? Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, would you do me 2 favors? Click the thumbs up emoji, which means you like it, and would you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest? These actions will help me to keep sharing my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you'll need to go to joanheberlein.stampinup.net. Mark your calendars. I'll be back next Sunday, January 19th at 7 p.m. Central Time, and we'll be doing a card using the terrific toadstool found in the mini catalog. I hope you'll be here to join me. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight. I look forward to next time. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe.